Hi, everybody. It's true. The title says it all. I bought Tyler Hoover's of Hoovie's Garage, busted ass Subaru Baja with a roached out bottom. And we're going to part it out and we're going to make it available to you. I want to tell you guys the story. Some of the people in the Facebook group, this Baja Facebook group, have requested that I put out video of kind of what happened and kind of the story of what we're going to do with it. So there'll probably be a couple of these as we take it apart. But remember, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a car salesman or a car part salesman. I'm just going to wrench on this thing. Hope I can figure it out, and maybe high school mechanics class will come back to me. And if I really need help, I'm sure a couple cases of Mountain Dew will lull some of my friends back here to help me with the difficult bits. Before I tell the story though, I just want to make sure that everybody knows if you're just here to acquire some of the parts for your own Baja, I want to make that the easiest part possible. So most of the information is going to be in the description below. You can email your offer to luke@gmail.com. And then we also have a Google Sheet that is linked below as well that will show current offers. And if there is a part that you want and it's not on the Google Sheet, it just means that no one's made an offer yet. And then like every Monday or something, I'll just take whoever the highest offer is, and then we'll get that out to them, and we'll take it off the list and mark it as sold. If we, for some reason, end up with more money than was put into the Baja, which I paid $4,000 for and $175 to transport it, and there might be a couple other expenses along the way that are, maybe a special tool or something, but we'll document all of that. And anything over that amount, we're going to donate to a charity. So feel free to let us know below what charity you think would be a worthwhile one to donate to, and then we'll just vote on it at the end, either here or on Facebook or wherever you guys want. I don't really care. So now for the story. It starts out a few months ago when I was looking for a car for my wife for Christmas. She is a rather quirky individual, likes kind of weird stuff. If she could drive the capsule car from Dragon Ball Z, she probably would. Additionally, she also likes to buy plants and dirt and all sorts of things and make her Tesla a mess. So imagine, if you will, somebody trying to pour granola down their mouth with all four windows down, going 75 miles an hour. And now I had 3 trees and a couple suspect bags of dirt, and that's kind of what my wife's car looks like at any given moment. So what a better solution than a Baja? I was looking for something kind of like that, or maybe a Suzuki Sidekick or something like that. She doesn't like big vehicles. So I find this Subaru Baja in Colorado that was owned by a very lovely older couple. They had it listed at a very fair price, and it was a 5-speed manual, which is exactly what we wanted. And when it showed up, it was cleaner than I could have even imagined. So I was tickled pink. Tragically, though, it is not the turbo, the one that we all lust after, but not the end of the world. Fast forward a few months, weeks, I don't even know what time it is anymore. I just realized that it's been less than a month since Christmas. Fast forward to last Friday. Tyler Hoover of Hoovie's Garage posts a video where the thumbnail says something to the effect of, I bought the world's worst Subaru Baja. And I've watched his channel quite a bit, and I've seen a lot of the videos, and sometimes it's not as bad as it seems. Sometimes he gives the car a funeral and buries it in a field. So I didn't quite know how bad this would be. I watch the video and I see that for the most part, the car behind me looks like it should be in good shape, but the underneath of being in, I believe, New York winters has completely rotted away. The understructure, and when they got it on a lift, it was very clear that this car was not safe for anyone to drive, and so he was going to junk it. Well, I went over to the Subaru Baja Facebook page and I saw everybody's reactions to that. I was going to Wichita on Sunday anyway with Matt, who's currently behind the camera, to pick up another car. And Tyler Hoover is from Wichita. So I leave a comment on the YouTube video and I message him on Facebook, and I try a couple other ways, but it's kind of hard to get the attention of somebody, especially if you're not already friends with them on Facebook or something like that. It's just going to go to like a pending folder, and I'm just going to be relegated to the back burner for, all eternity. So I managed to get his phone number, and I'm not going to go into details as to how that happened because for the sake of everyone involved's privacy. But I did get it, and I shot him a text on Saturday night and said, hey, I'd love to buy this car. My wife has a Baja. We would love to convert it into a turbo, and we'd love to see these parts go out to the Baja community. So he says, somebody's already offering me 3,000. I say, well, how about 3,500? He says, okay, or something like that. And a couple hours go by and I really haven't like confirmed that we're going to do this or not. And I know that we're leaving at 9 in the morning the next day. And so I say, hey, if anybody offers something more, just let me know. Give me an opportunity to counter. And he shoots me back a text. He's like, hey, if you can just commit to $4,000, you're good to go. And I'm like, done. We'll be there tomorrow. And he shoots me his address and we drive down there. And it was a splendid day considering we had just got a blizzard a couple days prior. Well, when we get to his house, his highly energetic herding dog of some breed, do you remember the breed? Yeah, I don't remember the breed. Gorgeous dog though. Comes up and greets us in a relatively threatened manner. And then everything was fine. We walk up, we talk to Tyler Hoover, we take a couple little pictures and videos, but we don't want to be rude. I get that he's a YouTuber and he's used to being around cameras all the time, but it was a little weird. And that kind of stuff can get a little awkward. But we get to see the Hoovie's garage. You know, we were right there next to the 25th anniversary Countach. There was a lot of beautiful cars. His brand new GT500 was in there. And it was a pleasure just to be around them, not to mention the fact that he was a really nice guy. And he's a guy who cares a lot about cars. And I don't think he ever really wanted to junk this thing, but he also understood that this thing can't be on the road. So I pay him, he signs over a bill of sale, which I had posted on the Facebook group, and that was it. You know, we talked, hung out with him for about half an hour. I think he was very tired. He had just put down a toddler, and you know, I think I tried to make an exit a couple times because I didn't want to be a punisher, which is a word that when I was in the music industry, everybody would use to describe someone who more or less doesn't need to be part of the conversation, but is just kind of creeping their way in there just for the sake of talking to somebody that they think is cool. So I try to be respectful of all that, and you know, conversations, a couple of them led to another, and eventually I was like, hey, I got to go get this other car, and we exited, and all was well. And then yesterday, very, very short time turnaround, we had Urination Bob get a hold of his driver or give me the contact for a driver. We had a driver set up, and for $175, it's sitting here in Kansas City now. So I can't complain one bit about that. Over the coming weeks, we are going to disassemble this thing, and as these parts go out, we will, you know, have some stories and some things to talk about with that, and some of the challenges of maybe some not so mechanically inclined people trying to take apart a Japanese car. But we'll do it, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it, and you'll get to join us for some of the journey. Also, if someone happens to be interested, I have there was some comments related to the Tojan nightmare that was in the background of the original photo when I got the Suburu here in Kansas City. That is another vehicle of mine, and I would love to tell stories about that as well. It's a very interesting history, and we do have connections with the designer, Russ Knutson, up in Omaha, and I'd like to get some stories from him. And so if you guys want to see something like that, definitely subscribe. If you guys want to know more about the Baja, definitely subscribe. If you don't care, don't, that's fine. But we appreciate it. And, you know, if you could give this a like, that'd be super great too. The likes, you know, they're good for the viewership of this video in particular, but, you know, it's going to open a lot of people up to the Subaru Baja, people who maybe aren't familiar with it and really dig the idea of this sort of American ute that existed for a very short period of time. Also, if you are a Baja owner, there's a reasonable chance that it's going to drive up the value of your car because more people are going to want them. So it's a win-win. Oh, one last thing that I wanted to address regarding the shipping and the quality of the parts. We're going to do our best to communicate with whoever is paying for these things, send pictures. I don't know what certain parts that are damaged are going to look like or to whatever degree. So I'll do my best to communicate to you, if you're one of the buyers, that this is the condition and this is the condition we expect it to show up at your doorstep in, or if you want to come down here and grab it. We're relatively downtown in Kansas City, but we're not trying to be shady about any of this. And if we go fuck something up, we'll let you know that too. Like, hey, we're trying to get that fender off, and yeah, bent it all to shit. So things like this might happen, and I'm going to do my best not to. Hopefully we can take the death of this car and give life to some of yours. Thank you very much. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and all of those neat things, and I will see you later. Ciao. Oh, I had one joke that I wanted to say. This thing's like like a Harvey Weinstein movie. It's great to look at, but we all know that underneath there's some super fucked up shit going on. Woof.